Good morning, children. Saida. Welcome back to our English class. So today we are going to continue with the chapter number 16, The Golden Arrow. So this is a story about the Robin Hood. So what kind of a person is Robin Hood? He's an outlaw. The person who does not follow the rules. Okay. And who was he? Robin Hood. He's the best archer of all the land. In all the land. He's the best archer. Even the king knows about the skill of his archery. So we did in part 1 the first page of that Robin Hood lesson. So Robin Hood stories, many stories are there. So for your project work also, I have given you the same story. Not the same story, it's about the Robin Hood stories. So you can choose any Robin Hood story which you like. You can go through the YouTube and you can choose the stories whichever you like, and you have to write it in short with the pictures if you can collect it. Okay, so this story also is very good, so you can write this story also. Okay, and so now let us continue. Now let's give a quick gist of what we learned in part 1. So here is the part 1. Robin Hood was the best archer in all the land. The king had heard of his wonderful marksmanship, and even though he knew him an outlaw, he had an admiring and almost kindly feeling for this bold outlaw who shot so marvelously well. But the greedy lords and churchmen who oppressed the people hated Robin Hood, and the Sheriff of Nottingham hated him most of all, and wished above all things to hang him on the gallows. So the greedy people, they wanted Robin Hood to hang, right? To hang. So he was the Sheriff of Nottingham. So now let's continue. Now just have a look on this picture and let us read what this picture describes now. Now let's start with our part 2 session now. So it's of the page number 134. So either you can look into your book or you can see the screen and keep your pencils with you so that you can note it down the meaning wherever I say. Okay, and let's begin. I have it, said the Sheriff of Nottingham at last, with a sore look on his grim face. I'll catch him by craft. I'll proclaim a great archery festival and get all the best archers in England to come here to shoot. I'll offer for the prize an arrow of beaten gold that will be sure to fetch Robin Hood and his men here, and then I'll catch them and hang them. I think this paragraph is also over in part 1, right? So, what is the meaning of proclaim? Yeah, what is the meaning of proclaim? I told you something announcing publicly. Okay, and craft means some idea. So this Sheriff Nottingham, he's having an idea how to catch hold of this Robin Hood and hang him up. So he announced the archery festival so that he thought Robin Hood will come and participate in that archery festival, in that competition. So the one who wins the competitions, they will get an arrow of beaten gold. Okay, so the sheriff was sure to fetch Robin Hood and his men here. Then he's going to catch them and hang them. Now, do you think the sheriff will succeed in his plan? So, do you think that sheriff's idea will come true? Let's see. Okay. Now, Robin Hood and his men did come to the archery contest. Now, Robin Hood and his men did come to the archery contest. Means they have come for the archery contest. But they did not come in the suits of Lincoln green that they wore as men of the forest. Oh, so Robin Hood and his men they came for this. They had come here for the competition, but they didn't come in their original dress. But they came with the Lincoln green. They came with the Lincoln green means bright green woolen cloth originally made at a place called Lincoln in England. So um, so they came in other dress. So here you can see how he has come. So he does not look like the Robin Hood. So they had come in the other dress, right? Okay, now let's continue. Each man dressed himself. Here it is. Each man dressed himself up to be seem somebody else. Each man dressed himself up to seem somebody else. Some appeared barefoot friars, some as traveling tinkers or tradesmen, some as beggars, and some as rustic peasants. Robin Hood was the hardest to recognize of all. So, the people who came there to participate in the archery competition, they did not come with their original look. They had changed their look and they had come. So some people, how did they came? So some people appeared as barefoot friars, means they came like monks. Some as traveling tinkers or tradesmen. Tinkers means travelers. Tinkers means travelers. And tradesmen, businessmen. Okay. And some came like beggars. And some came as rustic peasants. Rustic peasants. Peasants means the one who works in the one who does the work of agriculture. So some came like that. And Robin Hood was the hardest to recognize of all. He was not to be recognized on itself. Okay. Next. He went, dressed from top to toe in tattered scarlet, the raggedest beggar that had ever been seen in Nottingham. So he dressed like the person who had never been in Nottingham. So he was dressed from tip to toe, from top to bottom, in tattered scarlet, means old torn clothes. Tattered means old torn clothes, very dirty clothes. Scarlet means dark red color. So he was dressed in something dark color. The raggedest beggar means all the clothes, his full clothes were torn here and there that had ever been seen in Nottingham. The sheriff was looking everywhere with cruel glances for Robin Hood. So this sheriff was searching Robin Hood, but he could not find. But Robin Hood is there only. And very cross he was that he did not see Robin there. And very cross means he was just standing across him, but then too he could not recognize Robin Hood. But Okay. But Robin was there, though the sheriff did not see him. There he stood in his ragged beggar's garments, not 10 feet away from the sheriff. So he was standing so close, dressed like a beggar, so sheriff could not identify him. The target was placed 80 yards from where the archers were to stand. There was a great number of archers to shoot, and each was to have one shot. So the target was placed 80 yards away from the archers, and many archers were there, and each one have one shot. Then the 10 who shot best were to shoot 2 arrows, and the 3 who shot the best out of the 10 were to shoot 3 arrows each. The one who came nearest to the center of the target was to get the prize. So in the first round of the archery, so there was a great number of archers to shoot and each one to have one shot. So in the first round, each one will have one arrow and they will shoot it. Then the 10 who shot the best. So among the 10 people who shot the best, they have to shoot 2 arrows. Then again from that, the best, they have to shoot 3 arrows. Okay. And the 3 arrows who came nearest to the center of the target, they will get a prize. The sheriff looked gloweringly at the 10. So gloweringly means he was giving an angry look because he could not find out Robin Hood. So his face became so red and he was very angry. His face was looking very angry. So sheriff looked gloweringly at the 10. So to all the 10 people who got selected, he was looking at them very angrily. I'm sure that Robin Hood would be among them, he said to the man at arms at his side. Could any of these 10 be Robin Hood in disguise? Disguise means different appearance. Means Robin Hood, sheriff was sure that Robin Hood will be the one from this among 10 people. He said to the man at arms, means soldiers, the guards were standing with the arms. Could any of these 10 be Robin Hood in disguise? So he is asking the man at arms, could anyone will be the Robin Hood with different appearance? No, answered the man at arms. 6 of these I know well. So what they answered? 6 of them were familiar. They are the best archers in England. There is Gil O, the Red Cap, Dickon Cruikshank, Adam O. Bedell, William O. Leslie, Hubert O. Clow, and Swithin O. Hertford. So these were the 6 people who were very familiar. They were the best archers in England. But the remaining 4 will be, so what they said then, the 4 beside, one is too tall and one is too short, and the one not broad-shouldered enough to be Robin Hood. So 6 of them were familiar. They were the best archers of England, and one was too tall, one was too short, one was he was having broad shoulder. Okay, so one not broad shouldered enough to be Robin Hood. So he was not having the broad shoulder, because Robin Hood was having the broad shoulder. There remains only this ragged beggar. So only one person was left, one who was dressed up with this torn clothes like a beggar. So we know that he is the Robin Hood, right? But Sheriff doesn't know. And his hair and beard are much too dark to be Robin Hood's, and besides, he is blind in one eye. Robin Hood is safe in Sherwood Forest. See what a clever idea. He did not dress up himself as a beggar, but also his eyes was looking like he was blind in one eye. He was decked up with that. He dressed himself as a blind man too. So okay, so he was dressed like a beggar with torn clothes and blind in one eye. That is why Sheriff and other people, nobody could recognize Robin Hood. So, do you think Robin Hood will get caught? So, do you think that the men at arms and the sheriff will catch them? They will recognize Robin Hood? Let's see. The 10 made wonderful shots. So, all the 10 people made wonderful shots. Not one arrow failed to come within the circles that surrounded the center. But when the three shot, it was more wonderful still. Gil-O, the Redcap's first arrow struck only a finger's breadth from the center. So it was little bit distance only. And his second was nearer still. But the beggar's arrow in the very center. So when he shot it, the beggar, it was exactly the center. The price of the golden arrow belonged to the tattered beggar, but the sheriff's face was very sour as he gave it to him. He tried to induce him. He tried to induce means he tried to convince him to enter his service. So, what he was inducing? Sheriff was telling that beggar what he was telling to enter his service. To enter his service means come and work along with Sheriff, promising great salary. So he will pay more amount. You are the best archer I have ever seen, he said. You shoot even better. Okay. You shoot even better than that coward Robin Hood who dared not show his face here today. So, will you join my service? So, look at him what he said. It's an important line. So, Sheriff told him to join the service and he promised to give the salary. And he told him that you are the best archer that I have ever seen. And also, he told that Robin Hood is a coward person that he did not come and participate in the competition. He did not show his face today. So you are the best now. So will you join my service? So he was talking to Robin Hood only, and Sheriff told Robin Hood is a coward person and he dare not to show his face today. So now what happened? Now I will not, answered the scarlet clad stranger. And then the sheriff looked at him. Look here, see how red color. He's the scarlet means the dark red color he is wearing. Okay, so tattered scarlet. So hatefully that he knew it was well to get away. Now Robin Hood was getting wild, so he thought it's better to go away. As he walked towards Sherwood Forest, the sheriff's words disturbed him. Sheriff's words disturbed him. Why? Because he said coward person. Robin Hood is a coward person. So it was disturbing him. So what he did? I cannot bear to have even my enemy think that I am a coward, he said to Little John. He said to Little John. So what he said? Even my enemies should not think that I am a coward. I wish there was a way to tell the sheriff that it was Robin Hood that won his golden arrow. So he wanted to say that he's the one, he's the Robin Hood to get this golden arrow. So what do you think will happen next? So what is he going to do, Robin Hood? So is he going to go and tell that I'm that person who came and shot and won the prize also? Now let's see. And they found a way. That evening, the sheriff sat at supper. Just then, something came through the window and fell rattling among the dishes on the table. So Sheriff was having his food. Okay. So what happened that time? So through the window something came rattling. Something came and fell down on the dish on the table. It was a blunted grey goose gill with a bit of writing tied to it. So it was something was written and it was tied in the goose quill. The sheriff unfolded the writing where it was mentioned that it was Robin. It was Robin Hood who had won the golden arrow. When the sheriff read it, even his wife thought it's best to slip away, for he was the most angry man in Nottingham. See what happened? So when the goose, when the paper was the quill was tied in the quill. When Sheriff opened that and when he read that it was a Robin Hood who came there and won the prize, and his wife, Sheriff's wife, she knew that it is best to leave the place now because this sheriff is the angriest person in Nottingham. So she thought it is dangerous now to stay here, and because already Sheriff was having sore face, very angry face, right? So he became so wild that he slipped out the chance. He left the chance to catch Robin Hood and hang him because Sheriff wanted to hang him up, right? So Sheriff was so clever that he participated in the archery competition also. He won the prize also and he escaped from there also. There very cleverly, right? So this is the story of Robin Hood. So children, your project work is you have to choose any one story which you like or of Robin Hood stories, or if you like the same story also it is okay. So you can write the story, make the story short, write it in a foolscap paper, and you have to submit as a project work. So you will be getting your timetable and when to submit. Okay, so all the details you'll be getting in the WhatsApp. So this is the story, and here we stop the lesson here, and in the next session let us do some textbook activities and some more activities. So in the next session also sit with your textbook with a pencil and your rough book also. Okay children, so do the reading practice, and you have the reading exam too which I'll be taking in the live session. So practice reading. Okay, so your parents will not do the recording, so your teacher will be taking your reading exam in the live session. So practice reading. So until then, goodbye.